Hello, I'm Harry Rose and welcome to the Greater Sydney Landcare Network's Soil Health Series. In this series we'll be showing you how to use the Soil Health Card so you can go assess soils on your property. So why might you want to assess the health of your soil? Because healthy soils equals healthy landscapes equals healthy pastures. In this video we're going to measure soil acidity. Now, soil acidity is important because different plants like different levels of acidity. Some like acid soils, some like alkaline soils, but the majority of plants like slightly acid to nearly neutral soils. So there's a simple way to measure it. You can use one of these little kits which is available from most nurseries and hardware stores. Okay. Now what's in them is an indicator fluid, a powder, barium sulfate, don't inhale that, it does have that warning on it, and a board to put your soils, and a colour chart to show what acidity you have. So let's show you how to measure the acidity in this soil. Okay. So what we first need to do is get a bit of soil, and so here's the 0 to 10 centimetre depth. So we take a little bit of soil, crumble it up on the board. Now when you do this, also just flatten the top because this will give us a nice uniform colour. Let me just put that down for a sec. Now next thing is to add indicator. And what you just want to do is get a wet area about the size of a 50-cent piece. You don't want to absolutely saturate it so it's just running off, but it needs to be wet because now what we're going to do is add this powder and it needs to get wet because that's going to give us the colour. So what you do is puff it on. Nice uniform colour here because what we're going to do is compare it to the colour chart. So what you do is you wait about 2 minutes for the colour to fully develop. Okay, now it's 2 minutes. We've allowed the colour to develop. All we need to do is compare it to the colour chart and we'll see which is the best match. So we can see it's not yellow, it's more around this green colour here. And it's probably closest to this 6 here, which means this soil is slightly acid, but not very. So this would actually fall on the soil health chart as good. If it was 5.5, it would be fair. And if it was under 5.5, i.e. the soils are getting very acid, that would be poor. We rarely ever get alkaline soils on the coast. So you usually don't have to worry about these ones here. So with soil acidity, it's worthwhile not just measuring the 0 to 10 centimetres, but also greater depths, because your soil may actually become more acidic as you go down the profile or less acidic. So what I've done here is measured the pH at 20 to 30 and then at 40 to 50. So we can see at the 20 to 30, the soil here is probably still around a pH 6. And then at the 40 to 50, it's probably heading a little bit more alkaline. So this is about pH 6.5. So that means it's a relatively uniform acidity all the way down through the soil. The reason we measure soil acidity down through the profile is we want to know whether the soil becomes more acid, less acid, or the acidity just stays more or less constant all the way down through the profile. Now the reason is, if it's just acid at the surface, you can correct that with lime and make it less acid. But if it's acid further down the profile, lime is very low solubility, has very low solubility, and can't get down deeper into the soil, so you can't adjust your acidity further down the profile. Therefore, you need to grow plants which are either very tolerant of that acidity, or you grow very shallow rooted plants which avoid that acidity. Remember, when you finish your assessment, fill in your soil health card.